In this video, we're going to learn how to do inside ruts. Now, the main key with this and every other corner you ever approach is how much momentum can I keep throughout the turn. So how little can I slow down on approach and maintain that through the corner. Now with this one here specifically, it has a couple little pockets and a couple little blowouts. So it's very important that number one, we use our eyes and use our vision to our advantage. So as we approach the corner, from as far back as we can, we want to set our eyes up to the turn, and our first thought is what line am I going to take and how fast can I take it. And now as you do this and you set your eyes upon that corner and visualizing up through the apex, you want to pick the smoothest, fastest line that you possibly can. Now a lot of the time with this sandy soil, there will be areas of pocket or blowout, and you'll want to try and minimize these and carry a nice smooth arc. You don't want to bury the bike, lean it over, wash off all your speed and carry on. So number one, the most important thing I ever teach when it comes to any corner or any discipline or any part of riding a motorbike is eyes. So you need to pick the correct line choice. Number one, first and foremost. Number two is our technique. So technique is our body positioning, how we position ourselves on the bike. Now, again, as it is with every other scenario, our lower body is our strength and our traction. So we need to weight through our foot pegs, keep plenty of pressure on here, gripping tight at the bike and holding our bike stable underneath us. And then from our hips up, we want to maneuver and balance the bike. So we will use our upper body to balance left and right on top of our bike to either lean it in or stand it up. Now in a perfect scenario, you won't have to do this. You'll be able to lean your bike in and stay nice and central on the bike and use a mixture of throttle and traction to keep your momentum around the corner. Now this doesn't always happen and you cannot expect it to always happen. So what you'll more than likely need to do is be sure to have both elbows up, and if your bike needs to be leant in to keep your speed or leant up to keep your speed, we will do that by maneuvering our head on our bike. So wherever our head goes in line with the bars is wherever our weight will go on the bike. So if I want to lean the bike in, I'll move my head out and push the bike and push the bars in. If I want to stand the bike up, it's the opposite. I'll move my head to the inside and push the bike away to lean it and stand it up. Now this will be done over time. You'll learn to figure out which way you need to lean your bike, but as you go quicker and quicker around the corner, it will gradually need to be leant in more, which will mean you will need to be more reactive with your body so you can correct any mistakes. Number three is our controls. So we need to have really good precision with our controls. So this means not overriding the back brake. We need to keep a little bit of pressure on our front brake to make sure our turn keeps our turning arc and a bit of weight on the front wheel. And then we also want to try and keep off the clutch if we can. Now, a common bad habit of most riders is they'll drag the back brake in, hold in the clutch, twist the throttle, and they're not actually doing anything. They're just loading up the bike and making it very difficult to do the turn. In a perfect world, you will get off your controls and carry that momentum as much as possible. Now this corner here is a perfect example of it, where less is more. We want to lean over, keep that momentum, and as our bike stands back up, full throttle and go for it. So keep these three things in mind when you're doing an inside rut next time. Is number one, our body positioning, number two is our vision and our lines, and number three is our controls. We want to make sure we get all these three lined up. From there, ruts are great fun. There is no limit to how much speed you can carry in a rut. When you have that security on the outside of your wheels, unlimited. The better you are, the faster you will go. Unlike if you're riding in here where it's flat and skatey, if you lean over, the wheels will give way and you'll lose traction at some point. So I recommend it highly. Get your technique right, get your controls right, figure it out. You can have a lot of fun on ruts and corners.